Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about how long sex should last. I'm Dr. Diane Mueller, your libido doc, talking about all things sex, love, lust, relationships, and more. And this is a really important question, this question of how long sex should last. And it's an important question because the truth of it is it depends. And it depends in part by asking a question first, which is, what is sex providing for you? And sex for different people will provide different things. For a lot of people, it can be a sense of connection, a sense of really being there with a partner, of being seen and touched in this way that nobody else does. It can be a sense of love. It can be just a pure release. It can be this desire to provide another partner pleasure. It can be that feeling of desire. It can be stress relief. It can be so many different things. So different, say, lengths of sex can sometimes provide different types of desires, different types of experiences. So for example, sometimes a longer sexual session, and by sex, I want to define that we're not just talking about intercourse here. I'm talking about everything from foreplay all the way up to whenever the act is essentially finished, whether that's at orgasm, before, or even after. So whatever we're talking about length of time when we're talking about sex, I'm particularly talking about the entire process from the beginnings of touching and cuddling and winking and whatever you're doing for foreplay, all the way up till when the whole act ends. So when we're talking about this, we want to think about, okay, so if this is a longer experience, for some people that provides more ability to, say, feel a sense of connection. Sometimes it can be a very quick, if we go really quick, sometimes that is just going to provide for men this, say, release, right? This orgasm. For some women, a quickie can essentially do that as well. For other women, they need a longer time. So a lot of women, we just need more time revving up our engine, right? So it doesn't get revved up as quickly as men. And that's in part because blood flow to a female genitalia is a much slower process than blood flow to males. So the erectile tissue, as far as the quantity of the erectile tissue, is pretty similar between females and males, but the amount of time for that erectile tissue to be stimulated due to circulation going to that erectile tissue is varied from person to person, and especially from woman to man. So I would first say, in relationship to this question, the question of how long should it last really is going to be in part of what are you looking for it to provide. You know, if you can have a 10-minute session and that's going to provide you everything you need and it's going to make you feel loved and comforted and feel a sense of connection and anything else that you want to experience with sex, then 10 minutes is great. Another question that comes up with this is, how long should penetration be? So the actual penetrative act. And this is one of these things where it's very common for the actual penetrative act to last between, say, 3 and 11 minutes, right? So this is a common length of time we see penetration last for. Now, from the standpoint, though, of sex, what I would really encourage you to do is to think beyond this, right? To think about what can be done throughout the entire sexual experience to really give the feeling that you want to get out of sex. Because it's really not just about sex, it's about what does sex provide, right? What are you getting? What are you getting for yourself? What are you able to give to your partner? What is that doing? And then you want to think and almost like work backwards of like, okay, well, in order to have the feelings that you want to have out of your sexual experience, then work backwards and say, well, how long does it take me to feel connected? How long does it take me to feel safe? How long does it take me to let go in order to actually have an orgasm? How long does it take me to be aroused in order to really be able to provide this level of pleasure for my partner? So you want to kind of go backwards from this. I do find that it is a wonderful thing to have longer periods of sex at some point, at least once a week. I'm really a big fan of Kim Anami. She uses a term called gourmet sex. Definitely check her work out. And I really appreciate what she's brought to this term because there's this concept of these longer sexual experiences that are not really just about the orgasm, that are about everything that leads up to it. And so that touch, that connection, that really being with the other person, and as we touch and as we move slowly and quickly, but as just we experience the different types of touch that happen with intimacy, this releases more and more oxytocin. And the more oxytocin we release, the more we balance our stress hormones, the more we feel loved, the more we feel supported, the more it actually helps us balance our weight. We actually see that it balances our sleep as well. It creates feelings of happiness. So there's so many health benefits that can come from really making sure our oxytocin levels are so high. And that's one of the benefits of I see with these longer types of sexual sessions. But those longer sexual sessions, that I'm meaning an hour or longer, typically need to be scheduled into most people's busy lives. So, this is something that you can do. Can you, once a week or even a couple times a month, schedule an hour date night with your partner where it's going to be you're really going to look at doing this longer session and sinking into not just the intercourse, not just the penetration, but the entirety of the act. And then and work in some shorter sessions too, but become more aware and start asking yourself questions around, what do you want to get out of your sexual experience? What does it provide for you? What value are you getting? What is it doing for you as a human being, giving this gift to your partner, right? So really think about this, and then think about, is there a time that helps you to feel those feelings, that helps you to give those feelings to your partner? And think beyond just intercourse, because, sometimes intercourse, even if it's, somebody that's like regularly, say if we're saying a man, and even if it's somebody that's not experiencing erectile dysfunction, all men all men I've really talked to have these times where it's like, oh, for whatever reason, maybe they're stressed, maybe they're tired, it's just not working as well that day, right? But there's still this desire to connect. And so start thinking about sex and how long it lasts as more than just that penetrative act, as like how we can provide these things for each other and help each other feel all of the yumminess that goes with intimate expression. All right, I hope that was helpful. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends. Don't keep me a secret. More information about how to work with me to improve your libido can be found in the show notes. I'm Dr. Diane. I'll see you next time.